This video is brought to you by A Better Route Planner, the route planner for EVs. Hundreds of cars are supported. Choose your configuration, plan your route with the charging network that you want to prefer or charging networks that you want to avoid. If you're a premium member, you can use real-time weather forecast and traffic information, and you can also use A Better Route Planner in your car with Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. Use the link in the description to support the channel and use A Better Route Planner Premium for 30 days for free.
Good morning everyone, I'm here in the Tesla Model Y Juniper long-range dual motor, and I'm doing a long distance trip. So I'm driving around 600 kilometers and I'm using only Tesla superchargers and also only the navigation that Tesla has in there. I planned the whole route. It tells me a very long time, 6.5 hours. I planned the route with A Better Route Planner as well and told A Better Route Planner I want to drive 140, and it told me it's gonna be 5 hours 45 minutes. So we'll see who's right. I think that the Tesla navigation thinks I'm driving 130. I started at a Tesla supercharger right where the highway is. Reset my trip A and looked at the time so we can do all of this so it's all accurate. That's nice. Like I said, I'm gonna drive 140. I put in A Better Route Planner to drive 150 and it was the exact same time, just longer charging, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna drive 140. If it's the same time, I'm gonna drive slower, less power. Energy used, that's just way better. And you can already hear the autopilot on and off because this doesn't have the advanced autopilot, this car. It turns off autopilot and cruise control when you put on the indicator every time. But if I don't activate it before I start going, I cannot activate it while driving. The steering assist autopilot, it has to be on, and so I'm trying to use it as much as I can, experience it for you. Here you can see driving 140, this is my route, and I have to pay attention the whole time because without warning, car gives you then, hey, you didn't pay attention to the road, you cannot use autopilot for the rest of this trip. So you have to stop, put it in park, and then you can use autopilot again. It thinks I will arrive at the first supercharger in, I don't even see the kilometers, with 13%. And this car has a weird thing, and I hope it's just this car, it's not a typical Tesla Model Y Juniper thing. This car loses a lot of state of charge overnight, and I have the Sentry mode off, I have the cabin overheat protection off. So yesterday at 2 this car was at 100%, this morning it was at 96. So I started my drive this morning with 96%. I don't know why that is. I have no idea, but it's a bit annoying. I arrived at the supercharger with 12%. I charged there because the new version 3 superchargers were occupied, and I only got 40 kilowatt and a message you can't charge here faster, but then somebody left, a few people left, and now I'm here on version 3 and I got 200 kilowatt for a second. Now I'm at 180. This is my driving data so far, which is really amazing. 286 kilometers driven with 83% of the battery. Great consumption, 206 watt-hours per kilometer. I should charge here for 9 minutes. The drive to get here was amazing. I drove the 140 the whole time if I can. And that's also the maximum you can drive when you have steering assist on the Autopilot. With only cruise control, it goes up to 150. At the end, last 20 kilometers I drove a bit faster, 150, 160, but I arrived with the exact state of charge that the car said when we started. It went down to 9% at some point, but then estimated back up, so that was great. Great consumption, great range out of this. In charging right now is also cool with 180 kilowatt, and we only charge a few minutes and then we go to the next supercharger. I charged to 48%, I think a minute longer than what Tesla, the navigation told me to do. I charged 12 minutes, I have seen, I don't know the kilowatt hours now, there's a picture that I took. You can see the last charging session, you can see all the details, how long and how many kilowatt hours, that's always amazing. Yes, navigated, still in there, and it thinks I will arrive at the next charger with 14%. We'll see if this is true. I have still, 88 kilometers to go to the next charger. It still thinks I will arrive with 12%. That's totally fine. I have to pass. Yeah, you know me, I'm always complaining about Tesla's Autopilot, the steering assist, and also a bit about the cruise control, but now I'm gonna say something good. That's weird, huh? Number one, for the whole drive, 340 kilometers so far, only once it said, hey, please touch the steering wheel, and I'm sure that was my mistake. It wasn't, I was touching it and I didn't steer or something, so really, that's awesome. Number two, it also never had any ghost braking, so it never slowed down without any reason when it comes to detecting another car or something. What it did do is I was on the highway and suddenly it put in the speed limit of 40 kilometers an hour, and this is weird because I put in take the speed for the cruise control that I'm driving, not what you detect, but still sometimes it does it. I don't know why. And steering assist in a corner, I have it off right now, but when it's a bit more cornery like now and I would have it on, it's not great. It's not holding it there where I would want it, and then I can't steer myself. I have to fight it a bit and then it just jumps out and it's not nice. I arrived here with 11%, getting 225, 220. It goes down already kilowatt. I have to charge for 14 minutes. My driving data for today so far, and this is since the last charge. I don't even know how far I charged, but it says 14 minutes. That was a great drive. A lot of charges are occupied here. It's busy on the other side, Ionity as well. I barely drove faster than the 140 because it was so cornery, and also the car said I will arrive with 11%, and I didn't want to change that. So that's why we are here, charging those 30 minutes, and then the last stretch should be 170 kilometers, something like this. We are on our last leg. I charged to 55% and car told me I will arrive with 11%, which is okay. It's 159 kilometers to go. And it's time to talk about how is the Tesla Model Y Juniper long range dual motor on a long distance trip. And it's really great. I'm gonna say everything positive and then everything slight negative afterwards. So the drive is really good. The suspension I guess I mix it up. The suspension, when it's a great highway like now, is awesome. When it's a bad highway, it's too sporty and not very nice. Loudness level in here, so noise level at 140 is amazing. Wow, really good. The seats are okay, not amazing. It needs the seat ventilation that I have on the whole time, then it's a bit better, but overall it's not great. Sound system is really good. I'm listening to a podcast now to music on Spotify, works great. My consumption is phenomenal for how I drive. Yes, the weather is great, but still 140 with an SUV with all-wheel drive, 202 watt-hours per kilometer is incredible. The range is great. Charging to 45% is good. After that, so if you need more range, it's not amazing. So we charged 15 minutes here, I think, or 16, and it was okay. It wasn't bad. So the charging is not bad, but the rest, what the car can do, I think if this car would have an 800 volt system, or at least charge with 150 kilowatt till 50%, it would be, oh my god. But still, it's still okay. Cruise control is fine. I already said what I like and don't like about cruise control and autopilot. For a drive like this, that the advanced autopilot would be really good to not have that when it turns off, or you drive without it, just cruise control, that you can pass without it turning off. I have it on purpose on the whole day today to see how it is. And again, nothing happened so far. Still one time where it didn't recognize my touch, and only no phantom braking, and just another time it also went to 100 kilometers an hour speed, the cruise control said, but it was really 100. But I don't know why sometimes it goes to that speed and sometimes it doesn't. I think it has something to do with the turning on, turn it off when I do it at the wrong time or something. But overall the drive is good. We're gonna have to deduct a lot of time off the time that we have at the end. In the beginning of the just 50-60 kilometers, I haven't talked about this yet, there was a traffic jam because there was an accident. There was at least 10 minutes. Then first charging stop. The first charger was just charging with 40 kilowatt. They had to switch. That was at least 2 minutes. And I was on the toilet for 3 minutes. So we're gonna deduct 15 minutes at the end of the time that we're driving. By the way, we should arrive 2 minutes before 1. And I think we left at 7:30. If I'm not correct. If I'm correct. That would be 5.5 hours, deducting 50 minutes, 5 hours and 15 minutes. That is incredible. I'm on the last stretch, only 38 kilometers. It said 8% arrival for a long time, then I drove a bit faster for a while, and then it said 2%, then 4%, and now it says 5. So, and 5% is still okay for me to arrive with. I arrived with 6% at 12:48, and this is my trip data. Let's look at the data. Consumption 201 watt-hours per kilometer. Car thinks I drove 588 kilometers. Real kilometers were 593. So this consumption would be a bit less, I think. Yeah. Time, it took me 5 hours and 4 minutes, which is extremely fast. Like I said, I had to deduct a bit. When it comes to the traffic jam in the beginning, that's an estimation. I have no idea, but it's also not about 1 minute or 2 minutes. It's if it's 10 minutes difference, then we can talk. And I get to an average speed, including charging, of 117 kilometers an hour, which is amazing. The only car that was faster so far that I tested like this on a long distance trip was the Audi RS e-tron GT Performance. There I had above 120 kilometers an hour because it charges incredible. It has way higher consumption, above 320 watt hours per kilometer, but it charges above 300 kilowatt. But on that day when I tested the Audi, it was also colder and it was raining. And this is what's here amazing. Yes, the car is amazingly efficient. I say it all the time. Charging is okay when we look at the average power in a second. It's not incredible. But the consumption is great, but it was also the perfect day. I'm sorry, but above 25 degrees is just amazing for every EV. If I would have done this test in March with 10 degrees and needed the heat, it would not be 304 minutes because you have to charge to a higher state of charge to get to the next charger, and because the car is not charging amazingly above 50%. Then you slow down. But in these conditions, it was this result. First charging session, 12 minutes, 31 kilowatt hours, average power of 155 kilowatt, charged from 12 to 48%. Second session, 15.5 minutes, almost 37 kilowatt hours, is an average power of 143 kilowatt. That's great, but also not, extremely amazing. It's still good. If I would, like, again, 11 to 55%, if I would have to charge to 70%, this goes significantly down, which in every car, by the way, that's just normal. So for the whole drive, I only charged 27 minutes, 68 kilowatt hours for this drive. But of course, the end charging back to the starting state of charge is not included in here. I started with 90 whatever percent, I can't remember, 96 or something. So it's really amazing. They've done well, so it's a really great car for long distance driving. Again, the speed is amazing, but it was also the perfect day. And since it's not summer all the time, I have a lot of cars that will be better, but I don't test them at these perfect conditions. But Tesla was lucky. If you want to follow me on Instagram, BatteryLife1, and if you want to support the channel, there's a Patreon link in the description below. And here on YouTube, there's also channel membership. But if you want to know what's happening behind the scenes, I have a third YouTube channel, Behind the Battery. But that's it for me. Thank you much for watching. Have a great day and take care. Bye.